Hi everyone. Sorry for the delay in this. I had some technical issues earlier. I was at my office and the internet is just terrible there. But I think we're on track now. And we are going to chat to Kacie Morrish today. And I may have said her name wrong, and she can correct that when she hops on with me. So I'm going to bring her on in a second. But we're going to talk about love and logic parenting today. That's Kacie's specialty. And then we're also going to talk about the community and what's happening in our community and how we can get involved in our community. So let me find Kacie and I will bring her in and we can start our chat today, because I know I have a lot of friends that are parents, and sometimes, and sorry, my dog is sneezing in the background. Sometimes parenting is hard, right? And we need help with that. Here's Kacie. Hi.
Hi, everyone.
All right. Say your name, because I may have said it wrong.
You said it right. Kacie Morrish with the Village Parent Connection. That is my organization. And yeah, I do Love and Logic, but I do other things as well. So
okay.
Thank you for having me today.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you. I have a lot, like I said, I have a lot of friends and a lot of people that are parents. And I was talking to a principal yesterday, and she was saying just what a hard time kids are having in general right now, just with everything that's going on in our world. So I think it's super important for parents to know that there is support out there to help. So saying that, so you kind of explained a little bit about your business, but is there more you want to tell us about what you do with the Village Connection?
Yeah, so I founded the Village Parent Connection really out of a passion to empower children. And one thing that I kind of learned in my journey working with children is that if I can empower their parent, then I can empower the child and have a larger impact on the community. And so I do that through various different avenues. So the one thing that I really enjoy doing is teaching Love and Logic classes, and I teach other parenting workshops as well. And I do those at the community, like libraries and businesses that are kind of geared towards parents and children, but I also host them online. And then in addition to that, I do public speaking. So I speak at places like MOPS groups and birthing centers and stuff like that. And then I do individualized parent coaching as well, that's in the home and with a little bit more of a personalized touch. So
you have a lot going on, but it sounds really good.
Oh, it's so much fun. I'm just having the time of my life.
So with the online courses, have you found that people like those better right now? Or I know we all get so busy and it can be hard to actually attend the class.
Yeah, it seems to be working really well for parents in the on the weekday and in the evening, and you know, their kids can be right there, and we do it over Zoom, so I can just mute it if they have kids in the background or whatever. So it kind of eliminates them having to find a babysitter, you know, get in the car, drive somewhere, then go home. It's it takes that whole step out of the process. So it's a little bit more efficient, and I find that, you know, it's pretty convenient for parents.
Right.
So there are that are requesting an in-person class though, because they just feel like they learn better that way. And so yeah, so I continue to do those as well.
So I think this kind of leads to my next question. What makes your business stand out in the community? I think that those different options that you offer is one of those things, because I don't know other parenting classes that kind of do that.
Yeah, so I would say, you know, the individualized approach is probably a huge part of what makes my business stand out in the community. I really try to meet parents right where they're at, and figure out what their needs are, because each family is so different.
Right.
Child is so different. You know, it's not a one size fits all. I can teach Love and Logic classes all day, but sometimes a family's needs go beyond the scope of just what Love and Logic covers. And so Love and Logic is great. It's a great introductory. And I do use it in my individualized plans a lot of the time, but I also help them strategize through challenges that they may be having in the home. Like maybe they have a new baby and they're trying to, figure out how to navigate their toddler and their new addition to their family, or maybe they just moved. There's so many people moving to Colorado.
Right.
Today. And so, a big move and that big transition can kind of cause a little bit of upset in families sometimes. And really just becoming a mom, I think like so many moms go through this little identity crisis when they become a mom, and it's just, sometimes you just need that extra support, somebody there saying, you know what, you're on the right track, like, and somebody that they can bounce questions off of. So,
right. Yeah. I wish I had you when I had Jack, because I definitely had that identity crisis. I had postpartum depression. So I had a lot going on, and I could have totally used support like that. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I have days where I'm like, gosh, I need to hire a parent coach. Like, I don't know what I'm doing with my 2.5-year-old.
Right. I know.
I really value being transparent with the families that I work with. And so I share a lot of personal stories whenever I'm coaching with a family. And I don't really hold much back. I'm just honest about it all, because I just think that opens up the door for, if I'm being real, they can be real with me. And I think that's another thing that kind of sets me apart and sets my business apart in the community.
That's awesome. Definitely. Being real helps, especially when you are in the pits of parenting, for sure.
Yeah.
So have you something exciting coming up in your business that you want to tell us about?
I will actually post this in the comments below when the video is over, but I just have a little flyer. I'm doing a Love and Logic class, another online format coming up on April 4th. It's a 6-week session, and each class is an hour and a half. It starts at 6:30 in the evening and goes till 8. So you'll see the event, the link to the event in the comment section below. So I'm just really excited to be hosting another one. This will be my 5th one since June. So
wow, you're a lady.
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay, so we've talked about business. Let's talk about the community a little, because that's one of my business focuses. So I love to get other people's take on the community we live in. So you live in this North Denver metro area too. So what is your favorite thing about our community?
I just love that, our community is so diverse. I think it really kind of lends its way to being open-minded, and I'm so thankful that I was raised in this community, because I've lived other places, and I've visited other places, and they're all great. Every place that I've lived has really great qualities about it. But the one thing that I kind of missed when I moved away from our community was just that diversity and that open-mindedness. That is just, it kind of permeates through, everything. So
right. Yeah, I would agree. The open-mindedness part is huge here. I mean, I moved from Australia to Illinois, and then spent 7 years in Illinois, and then moved here to Colorado. And there was a huge difference between Illinois and Colorado in that open-mindedness piece, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure coming from Australia and moving to Illinois, there was a bit of shock there.
Yeah, culture shock for sure. Yeah. I mean, I lived in a beach town in Australia, and then moved to a house with a cornfield in my backyard. So even that, like, what is going on here? Yeah, there was a lot going on in my life, and then to have a baby and all of that on top of it, there was a lot. So what would you change about our community? Like, is there one thing that you would love to see change?
Yeah, well, so I totally agree with what the principal you were talking about was saying. I think today's children and youth are just really, struggling. And I think, in my mind, it kind of stems from this thing that I like to call mama drama. And so it's really really what it is it's an attitude of kind of judgment, and I think it comes through to caregivers and to educators. I mean, it's kind of like, well, you know, it's the idea of like, well, I would never do that with my child kind of thing. And it's really easy to slip into that place of judgment as a parent because we are so passionate about what we're doing and raising our family, right? But one thing that I learned, I worked with somebody named Kathy Hawk with Clarity International, and she has a workshop called Shift. And one thing that I learned is if we can shift our thinking to curiosity as opposed to judgment, it opens the door for change to really happen. And so I think, you know, in order for today's youth and today's children to really overcome this hurdle of, you know, I mean, we have so many kids dealing with mental illness at such a young age. And I think whenever parents and even educators feel, you know, entrapped by judgment, they aren't able to reach out because of that shame, you know, and I think we need to support parents and educators and bridge those gaps so that parents can feel, you know, won't have any shame around reaching out for help when they really need it. And so we also need to, I think, make sure parents know about the resources that are out there for, you know, if their child is struggling with, you know, a mental illness, or if, you know, their child needs some sort of occupational therapy. And I think if we can just, like I said before, shift our kind of mindset to curiosity, we can really open the door and put judgment aside. And as parents, we can come together as a community and really help make a difference in the lives of children. So
I love that. Yeah, that is so true. I love that. I'm gonna go back and watch this myself when I'm done. Because you're giving some really, you know, good thoughts and information, and I love that.
Thank you.
So, you know me, I'm all about local businesses and stuff. So what would you say, where's your favorite local business in the community?
Do I have to pick one?
Well, you could do a couple, I guess.
Okay, I'll do. Well, I do, like I said before, I do a lot of speaking at Baby and Company. It's a birthing center. It's actually in Wheat Ridge. But they have a lot of like parenting classes, and they have a really unique way of like bringing parents together. And so that's one place that I really love. They do more than just like birthing. They do well women checks and stuff like that. So you can actually go there, you know, for, you know, care, even if you're not pregnant or don't have children. But like I said, just for parents, they have a lot of great classes and resources. And then I take my son to Frolic all the time. It's a newer indoor playground up off of 136th and Colorado Boulevard. And I just love, like, it's really cool. I feel like whenever I'm there, I'm always meeting other parents. And the format there, like, I feel like it's smaller, so I feel like I can just let my kind of run around while I talk. And we do a lot of play dates there too. So yeah, that's a cool little place. Jack is too old, but yeah, I did meet a friend there once who has a little one, and it's the perfect place for that too, because we got to have coffee and the little one climbed around and stuff, so it worked out really good. Yeah, it's a cool little place. What other parent resources can you give parents in the community? Like, are there certain resources that you love to use or that we should know about? For sure. There's so many in our community. And just to name a few, like MOPS groups are really a really great way to connect with, you know, other moms. And so I'm getting ready to help a friend launch a MOPS group, and I'm really excited about that. Mod Moms is another really awesome way to connect with other moms, and they have so many different things that you can do, like the meal preps and the soup swaps and the, you know, all these different I'm sure they even do parenting classes. I mean, I couldn't even list all
Yeah,
the
they have like dinner club and book club and like wine club.
yeah,
They have all kinds of cool stuff.
all these clubs, yeah. And then, you know, I really love the free library classes that you can take, and those, you know, are usually you can find anywhere in the U.S. It's kind of a cool little thing, and they're almost always free. And so we go to those from time to time, and it's another really awesome way to connect with other parents. I love the Wow Museum in Lafayette. They're a really awesome place as well. The museum downtown, there's a place called the Colorado Family Life Center, and they offer a lot of classes for parents, like tons of different classes, even for dads. There's the daddy boot camps that are at Presbyterian St. Luke and the Swedish Medical Center as well. So I think it's important for dads to try to well. And so, you know, they may not want to be in a book club, but
right.
They might want to go to, like, there's another place called the Mama Hood, and they have the mom and the dad come, and then they split, and so they have a dad's group and a mom's group that meet simultaneously, and they serve like beer and wine and stuff like that, and so just kind of a fun way for dads to connect as well. So,
and I'll just put in a plug. I do have a park group that I run, and we mostly meet in summer, but I have had dads, stay-at-home dads, come to that park group, and it's great.
Oh, yeah. I had no idea that.
Yeah, so I run that in the summer. We actually have a spring break meetup coming up next Thursday. And then I also run a mum's beer group for mums that like to drink beer.
I was going to ask if one of your favorite places in the local businesses in the community was brewery.
Yeah, yes. So there's one right down the road from us, Mother Tucker. And they are amazing, and it's an older couple that run it. And so she's a mom herself. Mother Tucker is a mom. And they're just great people, and they really invest in the community as well. Like they've done, you know, fundraisers for when we, you know, lost one of our police officers, and they've done all kinds of wonderful things in the community. So I would definitely, shout out Mother Tucker Brewery.
Awesome. I'll check it out.
I love them, and I just love the whole atmosphere because it really is like community centered in there, which is great.
Sure. That's important.
So was there anything else you wanted to ask me or like talk about why we've got you here?
No, just check out my Facebook community page and make sure to like it and follow it. I offer a lot of parenting tips and tricks on there. And my website is www.thevillageparentconnection.com. So you can also stay up to date on there. And I think that's about it.
Awesome. And we will put all those links in the chat so that people can easily find them. We'll get your Facebook page in there and your website and everything. But I want to say thank you for giving me some time this afternoon. This, like I said, I'm going to go back and watch this because you gave some great information, and I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Haley. I appreciate it too.
All right. And bye, everybody. I hope you have a good Wednesday. I nearly said Tuesday. It is Wednesday.
Oh.
You have a good Wednesday afternoon.
See ya. Almost there.
Bye.